What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and lots of free speech, social media, cancel culture stuff today. A good variety of new topics, and obviously we'll do a little bit of dunking on Disney. But first and foremost, there's something pretty weird going on with Steven Crowder as he caught a 7-day ban with no explanation provided. Now, International Women's Day was, I don't know, a couple days ago. Who cares? But he kicked the hornet's nest, so to speak, uploading an old video where he dresses up as a woman and goes into a Planet Fitness and, makes some, noises around to set off the lunk alarm. And, ultimately, I thought the video showed that people really didn't care. I think that those he interacted with came off looking maybe better than he had hoped, but the video was still funny. But of course, it offended. There's a certain group of people that you literally can't criticize, and I think that speaking towards, for example, women competing in or biological men competing in women's sports. This is a narrative that, is being discussed now, and, it's hilarious. You see people like Fallon Fox literally cracking skulls because they grew up biologically a man, and now they are paid to compete in a physical event against people that were born biologically a woman. The idea that this is even an argument is hilarious to me, and a true sign of privilege. But Crowder uploaded this morning: "We've limited some of your features. We've determined that you violated the Twitter rules, so we've temporarily limited your account. While in the state, you can still browse Twitter, but you're limited to only sending direct messages to your followers, no tweets, retweets, or likes. Your account will be fully restored in 7 days." No reason. No reason provided, which to me is bizarre. Is it because he uploaded that video? Maybe. You can see here, behold the modern public square. Serving as the latest example of big tech's targeting of conservatives, Twitter has suspended the account of popular Blaze TV host Steven Crowder for at least 1 week without explanation. Crowder confirmed the suspension of the Blaze Tuesday afternoon. He noted that he had been locked out of his account since Tuesday morning and added that the company never informed him as to why they took action against him. "No idea why Twitter locked me out, as in the allotted category where they would include said information, it was left blank." Now, we've absolutely seen, situations of rogue Twitter employees. Remember that one that banned Trump's account for 8 seconds on their way out the door? Maybe this was that, but it doesn't seem like that, because it really just isn't, it hasn't been restored. The Blaze reached out to Twitter seeking an explanation, but has not received a reply. In follow-up emails with Crowder's team, the Blaze learned that Twitter had issued at least 2, possibly 3 separate bans for undisclosed violations starting on March 9th. In emails with Crowder, the tech company simply stated, "Your account has been locked for rules," basically, and no rules listed. While it's not known whether So the conservative political commentator has characterized big tech censorship as one of the most important issues facing the country. I would agree with that. Well, it's not known whether this incident is connected. On Monday, Crowder reposted a 5-year-old video of his account in recognition of International Women's Day. In the video, he dresses up as a woman and goes to exercise at Planet Fitness, setting off the lunk alarm twice, dropping weights. The video reportedly sparked outrage on the platform. You see Jack Saint, Steven Crowder, outrage over a 5-year-old video, cutting edge, do the ice bucket challenge next. I mean, right? Then, mysteriously, this person pops up. I don't believe people that use the terminology "my truth." I don't believe on it whatsoever. I don't believe anything that is said before or after referring to truth as "my truth." Also, I don't know if this is supposedly a troll or if this person's trying to be real. You see, when I identified as a trans teenager, I was approached by Steven Crowder for hooking up. I was 17. He offered me $1,000. I couldn't turn it down. I was homeless and desperate. He has since told me he'd sue me if I spoke out and slandered me to filth. Today, I speak my truth. You're homeless, but you have an $800 iPhone, an iPad for tweeting. Okay. I suppose that was a while ago. Crowder is unapologetically hateful towards trans folks, and that was prevalent in our experience together. It was the worst few minutes of my life. His disdain for trans women and women in general is dangerous. Now, I don't know who this person is, but apparently they are a business owner. Again, they've been on defense here. Let me make one thing abundantly clear. I do not have to display the details to anybody. Twitter is not a courtroom. I don't owe him anything, anybody anything. Well, when you put out this statement stating as fact something, quite honestly, pretty, spicy, at the very least, you are accusing him of a crime. I don't know. You probably should save that for the courtroom and not put it out on Twitter in the first place. I've often said I don't believe people out of hand when they post things on Twitter. I don't. The incentive for clout is just too high. If you really feel like something was terrible, then you take it to the PD. Today I've been called a criminal and all sorts of other terrible things. I don't even know what. I had my Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter inundated with hate. This is why people don't speak up, but that won't stop me ever. And as you can see, Twitter has moved on. Their original tweet getting nearly 50,000 likes, and everyone's moved on now. Again, is this a clout chase? Probably. Especially when you aren't taking any time to list any facts. And then you look at what the media is saying about Crowder today. YouTube used a mean word in reference to Meghan Markle. The headline, of course it's Media Matters, the headline is disgustingly misleading, okay? If you see what they're writing. On the March 9th broadcast of Louder with Crowder, host Steven Crowder used a slur in reference to Meghan Markle. I've got a video about this crazy liar too, coming later today, I think. Crowder was discussing Markle's report that she experienced bad things as a member of the British royal family. While doing an imitation of a stereotypical British person, Crowder referred to Markle with a naughty word. What was that word? It was spook. An outdated term that I don't think even modern day racists use anymore. But the idea, again, it wasn't Steven Crowder calling her that. He was playing a character who was racist. So did you write an article about Clint Eastwood using bad words from Gran Torino? Actually, you probably did. He says if this happened to be as prevalent as they claim that it is in the United States of America, where she was raised, of course they claim it's incredibly prevalent in Hollywood, which is where she worked. If it were so prevalent in Hollywood in the United States, why would she be shocked by something so seemingly innocuous? By the way, keep in mind that slavery has existed in the British Empire for far longer than it was outlawed in the United States. People say, oh, England. No. The British Empire, sure, you could talk about it being outlawed specifically with royalty in English, but the English Empire, it was still sustained by slavery. So why are you so surprised? You made it seem as though you face borderline crimes in the United States your entire life. If that's true, that's terrible. But it should be it should be water off a duck's back, essentially, if they're just saying, oh, I think your children might be a flat shade darker. Who cares? And then they, make jokes about it. Again, nothing really here. But this is, it's all coordinated. Who is Steven Crowder? Everyone knows. Twitter reacts to cross-dressing at Planet Fitness video. But it's 5 years old. I mean, he did repost it, quite frankly. But the idea is, you know, if we try to look up any news on him, it's all he uses a naughty word. Twitter suspends Steven Crowder blasted after photos of him pretending to be a trans woman at gym surface. What do you mean resurface? He posted them. It's so weird. And this is a dude that has, you know, consistently fought back against tech censorship. It's a dicey topic to be making jokes about, I admit, in the Planet Fitness stuff, especially in modern day society, but you should be allowed to make them. You know, there was a time where everybody, regardless of their particular backgrounds, could laugh about jokes. Nowadays, especially on Twitter and in Silicon Valley, we live in a post-tech environment. Now, what I do know is Crowder said that he is going to be serving Twitter with some papers. He's taking the day off today and to dot some I's and cross some T's in terms of some legal communications to Twitter. I imagine because they should have to provide a reason why he was banned. The idea that, you know, I get it. Heck, I even will agree on some things in terms of, you know, there's poking the bear and then there's like willfully walking into the buzzsaw. I don't think that's what Crowder did. I think it was a joke at the time. It didn't even land that great. Like, it was kind of funny, but, you know, people really weren't mean to him. And I mean, I think, again, him going to Planet Fitness gyms and people being fine with it kind of says that society doesn't care. And the idea that he may have been making a broader point, okay, that exists. But it sucks that every time you have a prominent conservative commentator in particular, this is their life. You know, do you think the Young Turks ever have to send legal letters because they've been unfairly banned from something? No. The people that are out there gaslighting, that say, you know, that say, well, I'm not gonna entertain that idea. There's no bias against people. It's ridiculous. Of course there is. Now, do people on the far left get banned? Yeah, probably some unfairly so at times. But to me, it's pretty obvious that there's a line in the sand, politically speaking, where you have to live by a different set of rules as the rest of the world, and it shouldn't be that way. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.